The Great War is here.
Game of Thrones spin-offs will air at least a year after series finale.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Despite a smaller episode count for the 7th and 8th seasons of Game of Thrones, we still have a ton of Westeros drama ahead of us, especially because the episodes will be supersized. And that's to say nothing of the spin-offs HBO is developing. Waiting for both the Game of Thrones finale and the so-called successor series will be a lesson in patience, though. Season 8 isn't even scheduled, and now we're learning a spin-off won't air anytime soon. We've known for a while that HBO wanted to continue the Game of Thrones franchise with all those Emmys and viewers, why wouldn't they? But then news broke in May that the premium cable network had ordered scripts for 4 different ideas. Days later, George R.R. Martin, the man who dreamed up the whole world of Game of Thrones, said there were actually 5 scripts moving forward. That's a lot of news in a short time frame, but don't think that means the network is rushing those spin-off ideas to the airwaves. The number one priority in all of this is the final season of Game of Thrones, HBO programming president Casey Bloys told reporters yesterday, July 26, at the Television Critics Association's summer press tour, for The Hollywood Reporter. I don't want to do anything with a spin-off or anything that detracts or distracts from that. That season will happen, and my guess is it would be at least a year before you saw anything else. In Casey's mind, spin-off hype would come at the expense of Game of Thrones finale hype. What I don't want is the attention to be drawn from the final season, which I think is going to be epic and amazing, and somehow have the distraction of a new Game of Thrones airing right after that, he said. It's best to separate it, and that's what we'll do. If the spin-off, or spin-offs, plural, won't air until a year after the finale, that means we might not see them until 2020 at the earliest, depending on when Season 8 comes out. Last month, Casey told Entertainment Weekly Season 8 may be delayed until 2019, pending the progress of showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss. They have to write the episodes and figure out the production schedule, he said. We'll have a better sense of that once they get further into the writing. While David and Dan focus on Season 8, though, HBO has 5 writers dreaming up the successor series like Oscar-winning LA Confidential screenwriter Brian Hell Jayland, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children writer Jane Goldman, Kong, Skull Island writer Max Borenstein, and Mad Men alum Carly Rae. Guarding the 5th writer, George blogged, "He's a really terrific addition. A great guy and a fine writer, and aside from me and maybe, A World of Ice and Fire co-authors, Elio, Garcia, and Linda Antonsen, I don't know anyone who knows and loves Westeros as well as he does." Something else to remember: just because there are 5 scripts being written does not mean we're getting 5 shows. At least not immediately, George wrote. What we do have here is in order, 5 pilot scripts. How many pilots will be filmed, and how many series might come out of that, remains to be seen. If we do get 5 series on the air, he added, I might have to change my name to Dick Direwolf. If it helps HBO advance their timeline a little, we've already listed 15 solid prequel ideas. We're lucky George plotted out such an extensive history, and prehistory, in his books. Game of Thrones Season 7 airs on Sundays at 9 p.m. ET on HBO.